Alright, welcome to the stream. This is going to be where I left off with a little bit of work being done on the Charlize Theron bus study. So I'm going to load up where I left off. There's a few different stages that I've went through, so I'll show you some of the process. I'll just put this on the right here, and then I'll just load a few different steps so you can see some of the progress. Let's see, this one is a bit of older, this one is just before that one. I'm just trying to add the eyes to see if it helped, but for me it didn't. Sometimes adding the eyes just is kind of like skipping ahead a bit, but it's maybe a good idea to add them later just to get a bit closer. Let's see, this one is even worse, so you can see again I tried to add the eyes, but yeah, a lot of different phases that this has went through. I'm just going to load in this one, which I felt was pretty good. There's something nice about the eyes. There's something nice with this overall that I might, there's some things that I could get back, but that's definitely one of the better ones, so I might even come back to that after a while. But this is where it's evolved to at this point, and I'm going to go with that for retopology. So I want a better edge flow before I continue. I've got most of the shapes in there. I just want a better edge flow for that. So I think try to guess which one it is now. Yeah, it's not that one, is it? There's a few changes been made. Yeah, this one. Let's clear everything off. So all I'm going to do is just take the eyes out, and then I've already got a load up subdiv on that. It's 154,000. It's a bit too much, so I'll duplicate it, and then I'll just go to the Z plugin, dock it, and then decimation 20k, and just solo that out and just make sure it's enough. Yeah, I'm going to go for higher than that. Let's go 35k. Yeah, it just holds shape a bit better around a bit of his eyes. I don't have an open mouth. I don't really care about that right now. It's just a study. But I do want better topology, so I'm going to export. That as Decimated, and I'm going to use 3D coat to retopologize. Some people use Topo gun. You can use whatever you want. I've just got used to 3D coat. Use it for about 12 years now, so I really just find it natural for me. So I'm going to click on perform retopology and then reference mesh, and then I'll go to my decimation. I'm going to turn off the perspective and change the HDRI to one with a bit more contrast. I can move that around, change the brightness and things. Right. It is an orthographic, so it looks really weird. Nothing looks natural in orthographic because perspective is everywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to click on the UV room, Retopo room, I'm already in it, and then points and faces. I could turn the symmetry on, just press S and then to X-axis, and that helps. Also press 4 to see the wireframe, 5 for shaded, 3 for flat, so 5 and 4 on. And a good place to start, I find, is kind of down this just between the nose and the eye and do like a round bit towards the chin. That way you get a good idea of where all the loops are going to go. You can also start just round the eye if you want, but I like to just branch off to the eye. So I'll start running a bit a safe point around the nose, and I'm kind of pre-deciding that polygon size and not keeping it too rectangular, make it kind of squarish, right? Now if I work on this polygon size, it's going to take me a while to retopologize it all, so I could go kind of double that size, just kind of double, and I'll do a subdiv later, right? So I'll get like a lot more work done at this rate, so a little bit faster. So I'm just pre-deciding that loop and kind of using the existing decimation to work out the flow. Just it helps me see the edges, and this is a fairly decent level of geometry here. I'm not going to skimp on detail too much. It's not going to be for mobile. Right, so do that, and then maybe sort of bring it round under the chin there, and that's kind of, you get a core loop round there, right? You can bring it round closer if you want, just move these round like this. You can also use the brush just to increase that a bit and just like drag them. Actually quite nice. Clicked on the wrong side. No, I didn't. Right, and that's gonna be that kind of core look there, right? It might look different for you depending on the shape of the head and stuff, but I'm not going to profess to be an expert at topology. I've got a decent concept in my mind, and you'll probably have an idea as well of what works. Now I know that I'm going to have to eventually have a kind of circle round the mouth here. I want to kind of gradiate towards that, so I'm going to put that in there, and there'll be some point where there's a pole, like a 5 spoke, right, and you kind of want that to be in an area that's not got a lot of muscle movement, right? You want it to be in a kind of static area of the face. It can still move in a bigger scale, but just you don't want it to move small scale, just in case you can't predict how the geometry is going to fold or anything like that. But to be honest, who looks at these things other than the person creating it themselves? And like, if you're getting critiqued by some artist. So here we go, there's a little kind of split here, so I've changed the topology direction, but I'm keeping chords, which is nice. So there's another split, but this is all discrete, it's under the chin, right? It's all kind of hidden away, and we've got a nice edge loop here. That's kind of important, right? And these are kind of, the loops are not going crazy spirals, that's the point. Right, now I need to sort of work my way around to making a circle shape around the lip, so I'll at least start here somewhere. I'll work out how I'm going to bridge these up in a second. I'll just work my way around. Right, so I could do that there actually, and then add a division there, that works. And now I'm kind of getting to a kind of fiddly bit, so I can always split a few verts here and there, or just do this, bump, bump. So every polygon's made of 2 triangles, and I think even more important than worrying about n-gons and stuff like that is the flow of that triangle there. Does it go this way or does it go that way? If it goes this way, that's really bad, right? So sometimes you want to kind of force it, you want to cause that split to go in the right direction. Right, so now I'm just worrying about this ring around here, just at the top of the lip. Put one there at the filtrum, and it's good. Right, I'll put that, no, put that there. Get a little pole here. See, I don't worry about it too much. I just want it to be, yeah, that's fine with that. Is the problem is it might cause like some sort of dimpling effect, right? But you're gonna have these, whether you try avoid them or not, you're gonna get those, and don't worry about them too much, especially if you're just doing a study and you want decent topology flow. It's really arbitrary, it really is, definitely. I've never been judged on my topology when it comes to work, as long as when it's getting animated it works, and you bear that in mind. Is it going to work, or are you doing it completely wrong? But I'm not going to be animating this, just a bit of topology for the base. I just want it to have a kind of flow to it. So here I'm going to try and kind of ring round this nose. And you see I'm getting to the point where I'm getting really fiddly with it and getting a spiral in there. You don't always want that spiral effect. Yeah, you want it to sort of loop all the way up. You don't ever want a spiral effect, in other words, but it's just really hard to get around these things. Okay, so I'm going to add another split in here just to cope with this, and I'll probably find myself doing that now and again. This nose is the trickiest bit. I've seen some people do retopology and be so anal with it that it gives you a headache just watching them. I tend to be a lot more lax than that. I'd be a good boss. Actually, I'd be like, that's fine, yeah, it's good, let's roll with it. We'd get shit done. Instead of like, no, take it back, do it again, take it back, do it again. Like, you get nothing done. Right, so I do want to sort of stop this from happening. Right, and I could put that there, that one will go up that way, and then just put some in here. So I'm using the mix of quads and points and faces. I've got them assigned to Q and W just for ease of access. Right, and then I could add another ring in here and then drag these in. Kind of proportionate to the surface. So if it is quite a tight, like a more rounded curve, then I don't push those verts as far. If it's a bit flatter, then I can push them further. So if I have a look at this properly, yeah, I can see there's a lot more happening here. I want to cover a bit more ground with it. Right, and then I could cap it off or quad it off. Let's try this. As long as I get my quads, I'm quite happy. Right, and what I've not got is much of a reach up into there. I'll fiddle with that later. Let's just check loops and stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's alright. I'm not getting anything too crazy. Cool. Like I said, there's right and wrong ways to do this, especially for animation, and I'm not too bothered about it. I just want something better than what ZRemesher gave me. ZRemesher's fine for. So what I normally do in ZBrush is start with Dynamesh and then get to a point where when most of the shapes kind of refined, you can switch to ZRemesher and let it do some sort of approximate and work with that as long as you want, but you're going to want to do retopology at some point just to get something a bit more accurate. So I'll probably get the stream titled wrong, so I'm going to quickly update that. I might fire up a new stream, I'm just going to check it. View stats, no, view docs, stream info. No, that's wrong. So it's Charlie's wrong. Let's study retopology. Zbrush, really cool. Right, that's probably going to start the stream again on Twitch, but it's fine. Right, so now I've done that, I want to come down the way and kind of start connecting some bits up. I do want a little bit of shape in there just to help. Yeah, at the end of the day, if you're really nitpicky about how the mesh looks for animation, it's likely going to be more nitpicked when it's in a AAA game or being used in a movie or something. If it's been used in a movie, you're going to subdivide it for the render anyway, and that's going to smooth out a lot of the bits, but you still need to be mindful of, like, does it make a pimple when it's subdivided because it's connected up like a star poles, what we call them, or is it like triangles? Right, so here's a bit of a I'm starting to veer off with this, and now I'm like, that's connected, so it's like, what the hell am I doing? So what I need to do is I'm just going to undo those and the points and faces and throw one in there and one in there and get rid of that one. So delete edges and just control click that. That should give me something better. So quads, not points and faces. Oh, let's do quads again actually. Right, so that's gone there, that's gone there, that's gone there. Yeah, cool. As long as it just lines up, marries up with the other side, quite happy. So if I'm not responding to anybody chatting, I don't have the chat up, so I'm gonna just throw it on here. So I can see. Right. So let's go for. That should be me. I'll see if anyone's chatting. I don't usually get very many viewers on my Twitch stream. I don't advertise. I just go on the premise that people are following or want to watch it like that. So I'll just send a quick message. Oh, I don't want it. Well, if anybody's watching, send a message in chat so that I can see. So I'll just do a little wave for latency check. Yeah, that's pretty fast. There are therapeutic. That's what I'd call this. Some people don't like doing retopology because it's so boring, but I find it therapeutic. Right, I've got a bit of a dilemma here. How do I do this? So what I'll do is maybe split that, get one there, get split it again. And there's a triangle there. That'll just need to do it. Just need to just check I don't have crazy goings ons. It's fine. And because I've got those there, I just want to use brush. And if you use shift with the brush and turn off the keep bounds, you can actually move all this around. I really like this tool. For a long time I used 3D Coat and never realised that this tool did the thing that I wanted. Just pull stuff around, shift to smooth it out, and see you get a slightly better alignment with things. So yeah, I do have a pole here, so the 5 spoke, I've got a 5 spoke here, I've also got a 3 here, so I might get some pimpling and things if I was to subdivide. I'm not going to worry about that. Am I really worried? Cut here in? No, just worried that I tapped it on mute. Just volume down. There we go. Right. Okay, so now I'm going to make my way up to the eye, so I'll just do a couple of little branch offs here like that, and now I'm at the eye, kind of how and where I want to be there, right? And this is going to be the point where I'm going to go round it. Again, topology is an art form and it's your style, it's your choice, it's the eye of the artist, eye of the beholder, eye of the topologist. My goal is just to make it the way I want and then fix it, right? There's no harm in that. Make it the way you want and fix it, right? And I don't do a ring round the eye because I'm an idiot like that and you get stuff like this. So I'm just going to delete that polygon because that's what I don't like, is that weird spiral. I need to delete that face as well. So you do have to like marry this up because the eyelid goes down like that, right? It doesn't really connect back up there, but you have to decide at some point that where should it tie up, right? I'm tempted to just do that, but now I get this weird bounce because of it's trying to complete the loop. So it's just the way it goes. My instincts tell me one thing, but the way we do things is different because you want it to be like this. Right, so I'm just trying to go as good as I can get to get round there. It is a wee bit annoying, that bit. But that is pretty much what you want there. Again, if you're an artist watching this, you might be laughing and thinking he's doing it all wrong, but it's too bad. It's too bad. It's what you're getting. That's what I say. This is what you're getting. When you pay for me, this is what you get. Whether you like it or not, I don't know. I just give you what I think will work. I don't have a lot of experience with character stuff. I've done 1 or 2 character jobs and definitely just kind of winged a lot of things. but I think if you get good common sense, you can sort of take on anything, especially if you're doing a like generalist role, freelance work. Okay, now you want to save that, otherwise you'll lose all that work. So you can see I'm gradually building this up, kind of like a scaffolding up for the good geometry. You see I'm getting right round that loop there to get to that point. Now I'm connected up here. I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to decide where I'm going to put this pole to go that way, and there's quite a lot of movement there, a tiny bit of movement here, so kind of like left of the eye. It's no big deal if there's some kind of pole there, so I'll just put it there, right? And I'll fix that in a minute. But now I want to go this way. So you will get these spokes here and there that someone who's OCD or worried that it's gonna blow up their game because they missed, you know, they put a poll in there. It's like, now nobody's gonna buy their game. It's ridiculous. I think you're just costing you're costing the company money worrying about these things, you know. When your art director is maybe under pressure to get things done, eventually he's just going to say it's fine, right? Just, you know, it's fine. I'm not really going to worry about it. His boss is going to be like, you know, why is there a pole there? No, I don't think so. I don't think he's going to complain either. I don't even think he knows what he's talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking. Before you start asking these mad questions. Anyway, no one's here, no one's chatting, so it's just me, and this will be a YouTube video of me sounding like I'm ranting and raving over nothing. But all I'm saying is, your topology is important, but it's not that important, as long as it functions and won't break during animation. So I'm going to switch to the brush again, just to tap, 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 Bob Ross style, just a little tap. Just give it a little tap, and then that will smooth out the topology. Right, and now we're going with the flow is the important bit. You have to go with the flow. So points and faces, you see I'm going to flow with this jaw, right, and I'm making a decision to, I'm going to keep going until I feel it there. That's where the quads feel about the same size. That's where I've decided that pole would go. That's my general logic when it comes to retopology, right? I just go with a shape of the zygomatic there, go with a shape until, you know, it kind of bends round in on itself and you still got that quad. So I'm going to go with a shape here, keep going, and here I want something to happen, right? So I'm going to put one there, do that, and then put one there, right? See, I've got that new lane that I can work in, and again up this way. So I can choose to put one there, but it's not quite a worry just yet, so I'll wait to get here, then I'll do it, right? Still a quad, and I'm also, my quads are getting nice and big because we don't need as much detail as we go towards the head, so I can just carry on doing that. I've still got good stuff here. Oh, right, so this is where things get a bit mental. I'm going to fix that actually, but this might cause chaos. In order to fix that, I'd need to weld these 2 points up, like so, just to fix that, right? And then I just need to delete these bad ones, points and faces, and send the problem somewhere else, right? So I'm sending the problem somewhere else at some point, but that's better, right? It's already better. I'm not getting too much craziness from it. That can go over there, that can connect, and I'll use that smooth brush, fix that up. So every now and again, I'll just hold down Control and see how my flow looks, and as long as it's not doing some crazy spiraling and falling in on itself, I know that I'm good, right? That's just a good rule of thumb. So back to points and faces and continue this now. And I kind of want to like lose that geometry as I go further away from the face anyway, and that's kind of happening naturally as all of this space, you know, opens up. Should have went. Right, so you see here's an example of it. Like if you look at the directions here, let me just do a little screenshot and give you an idea what I'm thinking. So I've got all of this going in. Oh, that's not a good brush. Good colour. Let's choose blue. All of this going this way. Got this going up that way, and you got this going this way, right? So I'm thinking as I go round here as well. Is that going to be a big polygon there? Am I going to move that up there? You know, that might be fine. Get to a point where I'll kind of converge things or create a kind of different topology. So I think I'll go for the move it up a bit and keep going like that, because we don't need as much geometry up here. I could also do like some clever collapsing. So if I go up here like this, right, and I want to sort of reduce the geometry, I just pull these down like that and then put a point in there, and that's now a reduction. So I've turned these two into one, right? So that's actually quite suitable there. You kind of don't want that too much in view. It's like maybe up to the hair, but the hair's going to cover it. Like, might be a good bit of fringe on this. So just in case there's any pimples appear when you subdivide or anything like that, it's kind of harder to iron out, but it's still easy to iron out. Can be done. Right, and then up there, and then let's go for the brush. Just kind of just tapping it with shift, you can see, and then I can drag some bits about. And then I'll just reduce the brush size a bit there and fix this. Right, so that's the gist of it. I'm gonna do the rest in a kind of time-lapse format likely, or come back. I'll actually just come back when I've done most of it, and then take into ZBrush and do some projection and work from that from then on. So I'll be back in a bit. Alright, I've got the mesh fully retopologized, and I've even marked some UV seams. I'm not too worried about the UV layout because that will change as I change the form of the mesh, but a cool thing you can do is when you bring it into ZBrush is to tell it to use existing seams. So I'm going to do that right now. So this is the decimated one that I exported. I can just replace that by importing the retopology, and and if I go to the Z plugin, it's going to close decimation. I'm going to use UV master and turn off symmetry and do use existing seams and do unwrap and flatten. So that will use the existing seams, but it will just give me a little bit of a better unwrap. Now I can see there's a disconnected point there as well, so it's good for checking that. So I'm going to go back into here, and there it is. So I'm just going to connect that up. So I'll go to retopology and then points and faces. Let's connect that up like so, and then I'll just re-export the retopology. So export retopo back out into here, and let's do unflatten. Might have to do the unwrap again, so I'll just check that in a sec. So I'll do import retopo, use existing seams, unwrap, flatten, and I think it's okay now. Yeah, that looks okay. So unwrap, unflatten that, and that's us got a new base. So all I need to do now is move it to the top. The eyes are unseen, so that's fine. So I just want to divide about 3 times just to get it past the point of it being too rough, especially for a projection of this mesh. And then I'm just going to do a projection. So I'll go down to project, and I'll just use the defaults, project all, and CS. Right, and that looks pretty good. Let's give it a look, and then just do it one more project. Yeah, just check that it's all good. It looks fine. You get nice topology there, everything flowing with the lips, around the nose and the eyes, and yeah, just generally much better, especially at the ear here, right? And even it's kind of copied a little bit of the badness from the high poly ear. So I don't have to go too high with this. I mean, I can continue to refine the shape here, but might as well just do, I'll do one more division and then project, because it's already at a good level, and just add a few details there. And if I did do a lot of detail sculpting in it, but there's not really much difference. It's just soloed out, yeah, it's soloed out. So there's not a lot of difference between these, just the fact that I now have a bit of topology here. You get some detail in the lips, and that'll be better for working out shapes. So that's me, I'm done with using that. Let me just double check. Yep, so I'm done with using this, so I'll just delete it. Bring the eyes back in, and there we go. So I've got a brand new base. Didn't take too long, maybe about an hour or so to do the retopology, so well worth it. And now get a really good base, and I can use that for future things like any other female sculpts I want to do. But I'm going to call it a day here. Save this video, and I'll compile it all into one YouTube video for you guys, and hopefully, you know, you pick up 3DCo, or you've got a good retopology system like this. And I'll just call this the study tool better topo A. Cool, I'll catch you in the next stream. Maybe I'll show you this once I've done a bit of detailing, and I still want to work on some of the smaller forms, so things roughly about that size now, just like make sure I've got all the bumps, and I can always check those bigger forms just by going down a few subdivs, and you know, just checking I've got a good base. But that's much better to work with now. So catch you guys, bye.